we don't deny that economic profitability in terms and in perspective of aviation industry is very important. But the price we pay and the cost we pay for this economic profitability should not be the lives of the people working in the aviation industry. As a consequence, Mr. Chair and members of this House, we believe the motion before this House that this House that Malacanang should intercede in Pao Labor Road. And in terms of the definition and the policy of this motion, we define Malacanang refers to the highest government official of the government, specifically the President. Why? Because Malacanang and the President is interchangeably used. Second definition, intercede means to get involved, to intervene in one way or another to solve a specific problem. When we say Pao labor law, it is something, the present problem in the Pao industry, which include mass resignation of Pao pilots, of the present 27 pilots and 600 pilots 12 years ago, and nearly 2,000 cabin crews were terminated during that time. The problem also includes the struggle of ground employees against mass termination and contractualization. It all stems from Lucio Tan's move to increase his profit even more by intensifying the exploitation of all his employees in the aviation industry. So the critical question in this debate, Mr. Chair and members of this House, which should the government prioritize? Economic profitability of the aviation industry, the protection of the labor, or both? And stand of the government side is simple, that the government should have equal level of priority between economic profitability and the protection of labor and also the workers working for the aviation industry. As a consequence, we would like to propose the following mechanism. First, the Malacanang or the Office of the President should make an investigation of this matter. Why? Because he or the President, Doyle Aquino, has the highest authority to direct departments under this administration to solve these problems. For example, the Department of Labor and Employment. Second, the Malacanang investigation, the findings of the Malacanang will be submitted to the DOLE, and the DOLE must assess the recommendation and take its prerogative actions in conformity with the Constitution. Let us first answer to the fundamental question of this debate. Why should the government, specifically the President or the Malacanang, should intercede in Pao Labor Road? As an answer for that question, government gives you two substantive points. First, it is the responsibility of the President to ensure the economic stability of the nation. And why is that? He is the top responsible person to ensure the economic stability of the country. And how can we say that the economic stability of the country is in risk? Why? Because the aviation industry is very important in the society, it's very important in the economy. How? It is used to transport goods from one place to another, from one country to another. It's also used as a transportation vehicle from one place to another. And if this aviation industry is no longer present in society, it will lead to economic collapse, Mr. Chair and members of this most noble House. Because we need to have an equal level of priority between the economic stability of the aviation industry and also the labor force. And that is why the second convention talks about the Malacanang should intercede, because it is the responsibility of the Malacanang to protect also the labor force. What happened in the aviation industry? How does it affect the labor force? force is the fundamental need, or is the fundamental requirement for any industry, and one of these industries is the aviation industry. Without the labor force, the aviation industry can no longer work, Mr. Chair and members of this most noble house. The question is still clear. Should we compromise the economic stability of the aviation industry? Should we protect the labor force or both? And stand of the government is simple to solve the problem in terms of the perspective of the aviation industry and also the labor force. And I'd like to raise the burden to the opposition to show us that PAL operates the vacuum, that it needs help, that it doesn't need help, although the status quo is telling us and proving us that PAL lacks labor protection and lacks strategy, that lacks strategy to solve the problems and members of this house. Second burden, show us that Malacanang has no responsibility to protect both the interests of the labor code and the labor force and the economy, specifically the aviation industry. Show to this noble assembly that Malacanang has no direct contact to the industry, that Malacanang also operates the vacuum. I would like to summarize the point, the substantive point I have mentioned earlier, that that was believes that Malacanang should intercept the PAL labor road because it is the responsibility of the government, specifically the president, to ensure the economic stability of the nation, and also it is the duty of the Malacanang to protect the labor force. With that, government proposal. Thank you and good morning.
Banner din ako sa paper.